We all know dystopia will have the background of destruction. Okay, it's opposite to the utopia, opposite to the ideal society. Here you will have the chaos. Okay, suppression, oppression, everything. So the famous example we all know, 1984, The Handmaid's Tale. Okay, Animal Farm. When the Sleeper Wakes. Who has written it? When the Sleeper Wakes. A science fiction writer. Who wrote? Just now I spoke about him. And Veronica. Includes Fahrenheit 40, 451 by Ray Bradbury, which will be written in the letter form. Okay. Famous works are Richardson's Pamela and Clarissa. Pamela is published in 1740. Clarissa is published in 1749. Okay. Then Color Purple. Color Purple is written by Barth. Just now, before 4 or 5 slides, I told you. Who's that? John Barth. He's a postmodern writer. He has written a work called Letters. And Wake Up Stupid by Mark Harris. Then you have whom? Gothic novel. Gothic novel is a subgenre of romantic literature because it is the precursors of romantic era itself. Okay. It includes mystery, suspense, and supernatural elements. Okay. The elements, the elemental features you have included haunted houses, castles, graveyards. Okay. You have the chill background there. So the important works are Castle of Otranto. Castle of Otranto was written by
Horace Walpole.
Okay, good. Horace Walpole, written in 1764. Important work because it is one of the precursor of the Gothic novel. So you should know the. Just remember, whenever you read, you should club it in a group. Okay, and then you have to know what is the first work which is written or published in that particular separate group, and then the last recent work always. Okay, even if you're not familiar with the in between works and all, you will be saved by the precursor works and the recent works in examination. So you should always check for the publication year of first work. So Mysteries of Udolpho. Okay, this one is the maybe the last work in that Gothic series, the Gothic novel series. You have, it's very, very important topic in fiction, graphic narrative, because at least 1 or 2 questions are coming in examinations. So you will have like comic series. It's basically a comic series type. Okay, you will have pictures, words, drawings will convey some kind of story. Okay, yeah. So you in graphic narratives, you do not need to have a chronological idea on all. You just know the name. You just know the name of the work as well as who has written the work. Okay, I have given just 4 or 5 works here. You should, what you should do is, after the session you should collect more works and add it to your own notes. When the Wind Blows, it is written by Raymond Briggs. Moss, it's a very famous work, graphic narrative. MAUS, Moss by Art Spiegelman. Bhimaya Munnu River of Stories are asking in examination recently. They have been asked these questions. Bhimaya has written by Srividya Natarajan. Munnu is written by Malik Sajid. River of Stories by Arjit Sen. And here you have Kari, Kary. Kari by Amrita Patil. So clear with the graphic narratives, right? Shall we move to next? Anyone? Historical novel is a type of work. These are also very usually we came across these kind of works, right? Because it is set in a particular time of history, generation, everything. What these works try to do is they capture the spirit, manners, social condition of the time. Okay, the mentality of the period. You can have the long list of series. So what I have given is not the work, but the writers itself. Walter Scott's novels will come under historical novel. He is also called as the father of historical fiction. James Fenimore Cooper. Okay, he's from which literature? He's from American literature. Okay, he has created a character called Natty Bumppo. Natty Bumppo. Then you have Hilary Mantel trilogy. What are those trilogy? you have here. It's a famous trilogy because it's won different awards. Wolf Hall, Bring Up the Bodies, The Mirror and the Light. Okay, these are all the historical novels. Then you have magic realism. Magic realism is nothing but you couldn't find any similarity between what is reality and what is magic. Okay, they usually combine these two things as if it is naturally happen. Okay, you can witness it is in witnesses in novels as well as movie. Okay, yeah. So it is mainly originated or associated with Latin American literature. You can call it as a part of realism genre. 100 Years of Solitude is a very important work in this subgenre. And Midnight Children, you have Night at the Circus, Wind Up Chronicle. Wind Up Chronicle has this question is recently asked in the last examination. Okay. Then you have Isabel Allandi's The House of the Spirits. So Midnight Children is published in 19, as well as it won numerous awards like Man Booker Award, Best of Man Booker, Booker of Booker. Is published in 1981. Okay, you should not forget. Nights at the Circus is by Angela Carter. Okay, and Wind Up Chronicle, Wind Up Bird Chronicle. Then you have picaresque novel. We also will be familiar with this type of genre. Adventures of Rogue or Low-born Adventurer. Basically, he's a rogue. Okay, like a rowdy. He explores society. He explores the living. So you have Moll Flanders, Tom Jones, and Don Quixote. Okay, and also important work by Fielding is Joseph Andrews. Moll Flanders is written by
Daniel Defoe.
Yes, good. Daniel Defoe. Yeah. 1922. Tom Jones is written by
Henry
the same
Fielding.
author. Yes, good. The same author, Henry Fielding. Okay, it is written in 1749 and Joseph Andrews written in 1742. Don Quixote, already I told you, 1605. Then science fiction. Science fiction, it is also a general term. It will have exploration of science and its impact on society, individual. Okay, you have imaginary, futuristic concepts as well. I have given the writers H.G. Wells, or most of the works will come under, his works come under science fiction genre. So check for yourself. Arthur C. Clarke, Jules Verne. Okay, then Isaac Asimov, Philip K. Dick. Okay, these are all the writer who wrote Journey to the Center of the Earth. Journey to the Center of the Earth. Who wrote it? Famous movie and all. It has been adapted. It is written by Jules Verne. Okay, and the recent writer, he's a famous one, Kazuo Ishiguro as well as Haruki Murakami are very much asked in the recent examination. You should always know the list of what works and what are the genres these writers are handling. You should definitely know. Kazuo Ishiguro as well as Haruki Murakami. Never Let Me Go is also a science fiction. So roman fleuve. What do you mean by roman? Roman means simply novel. Fleuve means romana fleuve. It is called as river. Okay, so river novels does not come under the imagery of river. It means actually the novel runs into like a lot of editions, lot of works. You will have 7 to 8 novels, 11 novels, 12 novels, so they called as river novels. Okay, the Fourth State Saga. Who has written Fourth State Saga? The Fourth State Saga, 6 novels, is written by John Galsworthy. Sword of Honor. Okay, Sword of Honor is written by Evelyn Waugh. Strangers and Brothers. Okay, it has I think 11 novels. It is written by C.P. Snow. Okay, all of these writers are from British literature. And also Anthony Trollope, he has written the Chronicles of Barsetshire and the Palliser novels. Then you have utopian fiction. Utopian fiction is directly opposite to which type? Dystopia. Okay, here you have the ideal or perfect world. Okay, yeah. So utopia is a famous work. From this work only we get the name, we get the subgenre called utopia. And Erewhon is by Samuel Butler. Blazing World. Blazing World is written. Herland is written by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, who wrote which short story? Famous short story. Yellow Wallpaper. Okay. Then you have social novels. Social novels are nothing but which address social problems, social issues. Okay. You will have the important works known as Uncle Tom's Cabin by Harriet Beecher Stowe, The Jungle. Okay. The Jungle by Upton Sinclair, Burgess' Daughter, Grapes of Wrath, Harper Lee's To Kill a Mockingbird. Okay, kindly check for yourselves the summaries of the work. It is very important. Then you have postmodern novels, a form of literature that is characterized by, you have postmodern novels is the recent type of novels. You will have passage, parody as characteristic feature, metafiction. The fiction itself will have own story. The story talks about the story itself. Like that, you have metafiction, unreliable narration, self-reflectivity or referring to itself. The character referring to itself, like that. Intertextuality. One work talks about the next work. Okay, these are all the features of postmodern novels. For example, for instance, you take Catch 22 by. He has also written a work called V. The writer is Thomas Pynchon, okay, American writer. Then White Noise by Don DeLillo. Then you have famous work called The French Lieutenant Woman, John Fowles. He's the author. Okay, so we just finished our fiction part. What you have to do is you have to check out these works, okay, these subgenres. You have to go and check for their novels. The list of novels comes under here, and then authors, subgenres, features, and the publication date. Okay, regional novel is nothing but the works will talk about the specific region. Okay, like Yokna Patwaka, and then what Wessex novels, like that. Then faction, as I told you before, it is based on real life instance. Okay, so go and check. Unreliable narrators. You have Huckleberry Finn as an unreliable narrator. Stream of conscious technique novels. What are the novels you can remember now? Stream of consciousness technique is employed.
James Joyce's
James Joyce novel, Virginia Woolf novel, Dorothy Richardson's. Okay, yeah. And then eponymous. What do you mean eponymous? Eponymous is the titular character. Okay, the novel has its name from the character itself. So it is called as like Tom Jones, Joseph Andrews and all. Omniscient narrators will be there. So you have to check for the omniscient narrators. Doppelganger effect. What do you mean by doppelganger effect? Anyone? Doppelganger is nothing but you have the different persons with the same look, personality look. You have Jekyll and Hyde, right? Like that. Okay. And you have a Charles Dickens work, Tale of Two Cities. Two persons will have the same features. Okay, same looking. That can be called as doppelganger effect. So biographical fiction. Some writers have written some work like from other writers' biography with a fictional element. Okay, check Anthony Burgess' works. Okay, Nothing Like a Sun is written upon Shakespeare. It's a biographical fiction only. So go and check for these types. And then critical works, very important. It is written on novel. Rise of the Novel by Ian Watt. Why the Novel Matters. It is by D.H. Lawrence. Okay, Aspects of the Novel, as I told you before, by E.M. Foster, 1927. David Deutsch wrote Novel and the Modern World. The Art of Fiction by Henry James. David Lodge. Actually, Art of Fiction is written by these two people. Henry James also written a work called Art of Fiction. David Lodge also written. David Lodge written as a book. Henry James written as a essay or article. Okay. Check for these writers and work, and you should remember these publication years. Then we shall go into short story. Short stories are same like novels. It has its origin from frame narratives, fablio, folk tales, parables, novella. Okay, the short form of novel. So Frank O'Connor, he's a very famous Irish short story writer. He claimed short story as the national art form. Okay, who has taken short story as national art form? You can be asked in the question. So it is American people. American writers familiarized short story writing. Okay, so he claimed it as that. So characteristic, how you can divide short story versus fiction, you can term it as, because in novel you have like complex narratives, n number of characters, okay, twists and turns, more themes and effect. But in short story, the aim is the unity of characterization. You will have limited number of characters, okay, you will have limited number of themes, effect, one plot, okay, it is not very complex. So these are the major divisions, okay. And then the story, how much the words can be employed, no, no, 1,000 to 15 words in short story. But whereas in novel, 60,000 to 1 lakh. Yeah. Then comes the origin and the early practitioners who employed the short story form earlier, like that. So Aesop's fable, as I told you, Boccaccio's Decameron, Chaucer's Canterbury Tales, Epic of Gilgamesh. Epic of Gilgamesh is an anonymous work, I think, but it is from a Mesopotamian region. Okay, Panchatantra Tales. It is from our region. Recently, Panchatantra Tales has been has been recognized by such institution, organization. Yeah, anyone knows it? Panchatantra Tales. Panchatantra Tales actually recognized well by UNESCO recently, because it is such a good set of stories, which is very good for the ethical studies of for children. So American practitioners are Washington Irving. Okay, Washington Irving's sketchbook is a set of what? Short stories. William Dean Howells, Suburban Sketches, and we all know Poe, Edgar Allan Poe. Edgar Allan Poe's Tales of Grotesque and Arabesque. Melville's, Herman Melville's Pizza Tales. We always what the tricky thing in short story is, we used to read a lot of novels, okay, a lot of things about poetry, drama, but short story only lesser kind of works are familiar, because also in the examination also very limited questions are asked from short story. So uh, it is impossible to get everything, get more short story in a like, it is impossible to study all the short story actually by a learner. So what we have to do is, at least we should know the title, the collection title name, okay, collection title name of such important short story writers, or one or two important short stories, because there are thousands and thousands of short stories are published in such a years, okay. So at least we try to do some justice to short story by learning the title names itself, okay. Yeah. So what I have done is, I have brought out the collection name only, not individual short stories. These are the collection names from each literature. So from Indian, you have Tagore. Tagore wrote Kabuliwala and the Hungry Stones, and Raja Rao, the Cow of the Barricades. Okay, from these works, you can ask the possibility of these questions is very rare. Then why should I waste my time spending on short stories and all? But what I'm saying is, at least if you know these things, the title or name or something, you can eliminate the options in your examination. So we should not leave the possibility of getting 1 or 2 mark from these least areas. Okay, we should not be leaving these things. So Raja Rao, the Cow of the Barricades. Vikram Seth, beastly tales from here and there. Then Mulk Raj Anand's The Barbers Trade Union. R.K. Narayan's An Astrologer Day. Then you have British. In British, short story writers are Angela Carter. So her works are The Bloody Chamber, Black Venus. Graham Greene, 21 Stories. Then Graham Swift, England and Other Stories. Ian McEwan, very famous postmodern writer, was written Amsterdam, Atonement, okay, Lesson, everything. He has written Last Rites in Between the Sheets. Joseph Conrad, Tales of Unrest. Somerset Maugham, Creatures of Circumstance. And Virginia Woolf, Monday or Tuesday. We usually know all the works, critical works, novels of Virginia Woolf, but we are less familiar, I think. Monday or Tuesday and all, we are less familiar for Virginia Woolf. We should read it. Monday or Tuesday, A Haunted House. Kingsley Amis, My Enemy's